Welcome to a new episode of Diary of a Puzzle Gamer, in which I talk about jigsaw puzzles after I solve one, and I review that and I tell you about my experience of solving that puzzle. I hadn't done one of these in a while, basically because of a traumatic experience. I had become quite strong and quick at solving 1,000-piece puzzles, and so I decided to be ambitious, and I tried to solve an 8,000 piece puzzle by Ravensburger. It is the Battle of Algiers. You can find information about it easily because there aren't many puzzles that big. I thought, oh, 8,000 is going to be 8 times like 1,000. Actually, turns out that there's some sort of exponential whatever thingy, and I couldn't do it. Maybe I could also have chosen a puzzle that is not like a third of those 8,000. It's just like great. I could have chosen a little more variety. So after I was traumatized for failing to do so, I spent, I don't know, like so many hours to find part of the gray pieces and then to find 2 or 3 pieces going together. I given up, and I'm not omnipotent. I try to, but I don't. Sometimes I do fail. So after a while, after my tears dried, I decided to try another puzzle, and I want to try something new. So I tried a puzzle with a completely different format, one that I had not tried before. One of these panoramic puzzles by Eurographics. Also, it was pretty hard to find. I ordered it from, I don't think it was from the publisher, from a vendor in the UK. Seems to be the only place where you could find it. It took about 2 months to arrive, but finally it arrived. And it is a puzzle with a glorious Spitfire in it. So, very interesting. Never tried a puzzle of this kind. And I finish it, I'm going to show it to you, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about this. So, here is what the puzzle looks like once you finish it. There you go. I had to go back precisely because it's panoramic, so I want to show it all in all its glory. You see a little bit of glare or reflection from the lights, but actually I'm pleasantly surprised that it's almost like less in the camera than you would see in real life. As I was solving it, the puzzle is really glossy. Although it looks great in real life once it's done, while I was solving it, that turned out to be really challenging. I guess you can see when the light does shine there, well, if it's here, I can still tell the difference between red and blue. When it's there, where the dark is darker there, gets lighter, 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 actually those differences are really important. Basically, all of this area, which is almost a third of the game, looked exactly of the same color. Unless you get the right angle, and then you do see the difference between that gray and slighter gray and slight darker gray and black. It was my daughter Louisa actually that had the breakthrough idea. She was helping me, we were stuck, we couldn't figure out, the pieces look exactly the same. And she was like, let me try and get us more light. And she actually accidentally turned off one of the lights in the room. And lo and behold, all of a sudden those pieces look exactly the same. Some were clearly darker, some clearly lighter. So actually this is a game that, it is a puzzle, the first one that I would recommend solving in low light. Never happened before. Because that is when the glare is kept at bay and you can tell the differences, you can see the difference, at least in that area. The main body of the airplane, much easier to solve, very satisfying. This area also very doable, very reasonable. I enjoyed this puzzle a great deal. Again, there was a struggle with this area. There's also another thing that was not super great, and I've seen that in other puzzles by Eurographics. The fit is not really tight. There is a little bit of wiggle room. So actually, when you're trying to match pieces that don't have a clear, distinct pattern, there are cases in which 2 pieces will look like they're perfectly fine because they're just infinitesimally different from what they should be. They are wrong, but they really look like they fit perfectly, which may happen in any puzzle, but here it happened a little too often. There were cases where I got stuck, I looked at every piece that was left, and it simply, there was something impossible, and then I had to go back and I saw that some pieces that really looked okay. When you picked them up and looked them from the back against the light, then you could see they were wrong. I prefer when that doesn't happen, when I don't waste too much time doing that. Also, that means that it's gonna be harder to pick up this one and put it on another surface. Another thing, of course, the beauty of the puzzle, which is the shape, the landscape, the panorama format that really emphasizes the shape of the Spitfire. I don't need, you know, square thing with a lot of Morse around it. That's what I want. Boom, in all of its glory. This very shape, of course, means also that I won't be able to use a store-bought frame, which, you know, I can buy in big stores at reasonable prices. If I want to frame it, I would need to get a custom frame, and that's not happening because I already have a mortgage on the house. I don't need another one. I don't know if you ever had to deal with that whole industry. I'll use a technical, a neutral term. People use more negative terms. That industry that really charges obscene amounts of money. So it's not happening that I'm going to have a custom frame made for this puzzle. Some suggestions. Somebody online suggested to mod Pudget, which I've never done before. You might have, but I haven't, where you spread this that transparent sort of gluish stain that then hardens and becomes like transparent plastic, and that should turn this into like a big, simple, sturdy piece of thing that doesn't have to be on a frame or on a flat surface. And I think it's gonna look very great because I love the shape, and actually I'm here in my game room, and I think it will look great right up there. Not there, not there. Right up there. In that area up there, I'll simply, once it's sturdy, I set it on top of Fireball Island up there. I think it'll fit that like niche up there very nicely. Or somewhere else, again, on top of the games. And I have a lot of war games, so the Spitfire would really just be in the spirit. So I like it. With some negatives about glossiness, which may look great after you're done, but makes it harder to solve the puzzle. The fit could make the puzzle a little more fun, but overall it is an interesting and fun puzzle. I still enjoy solving it. I feel the final result really looks great, so a puzzle that I would recommend. Also a puzzle that got me out of my traumatic experience after failing to solve the 8,000 piece puzzle. So it's gonna be not gonna be as long between my previous puzzle video and this one. The next one will be a lot faster. I'm gonna start a new one in a couple of days and maybe a report in a week or two. Thank you for watching a new episode of Diary of a Puzzle Gamer.